Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 51.
Holy
51
jeez.
of Active Reload. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, James Timberlake. That's Grant Urey. This week, we're going to talk about Nintendo. They had a direct to you, and a direct to the garbage.
Womp womp.
Bingo. Did you get
Direct to the garbage.
That's what I put in the thing.
Oh,
funny.
wow.
Nintendo Direct to the garbage. Just kidding. So, shout out our Nintendo fans. Whatever.
Just joking.
We'll talk
Nintendo.
about it a little bit. And we don't have a whole bunch to talk about. There are some things that interest you.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit. So we'll touch on it a little bit. We'll talk about that. And that was kind of the extent of the news, to be honest with you.
But we got a lot of games to talk about that we're
Got
playing.
a lot of games. Yeah, we've been playing a lot.
He just got a VR.
I'm playing VR. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and then we'll wrap
And
up
who's
the
your
show.
favorite number 51?
No idea. I don't know any 51s.
Michael Singletary.
Okay, we'll go with that. Michael Singletary. Sure.
All right.
Nintendo. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
They used to make fun fact. Did you know what they originally started in?
Gambling, I think.
No.
Adult things.
Nope.
Like adult gambling, no?
Are you going to keep guessing?
School books.
I don't want you to keep guessing.
Yeah, go ahead.
They actually originally started in straws. They made straws.
Oh, really?
No, I made that up. But they could have. I don't know. They could have made straws. I have no idea what they started in. I don't think they started in video games, though, if I remember correctly. I think they started in something else.
Yeah, definitely. They started for a long time before video games.
Nonetheless, now they make video games, and they're pretty good at it, if you ask, I think, a majority of people. Pretty good at what they do. They've been doing it for a long time, longer than anybody else now in the industry.
When it comes to first-party games, is there anybody more consistent?
From software. Oh, first party.
First party.
No.
Nah.
No.
Not even close.
Not even close. No, Nintendo puts out banger after banger after banger.
It's just
when
they
it
get
comes
a little
to
long
Zelda,
in the tooth.
Mario. Yeah.
When you start to be like, when you start to see this new Zelda game and stuff like this, it looks like a lot of other games, and it looks like Link to the Past Part 15. So you start to wonder.
The new Legend of Zelda game that they announced. I don't know if it feels like a in-between game, to be honest with you. From what I saw, like in between.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, right, is the last one that was Legend of Zelda, and it feels like this one's going to be like an in-between to the next version of that, whatever they do. A third game in that series or whatever, I have no idea. But it feels like a 2.5, if you will, and I don't even know if it goes into the same story. But
I mean, you can count
filler.
like Four Swords, the seasonal one. Yeah. You can count Link to the Past and all these other ones. They look a lot like this new Zelda game, which is called Legend of Zelda:
Echoes of Wisdom.
The very first time you could play as Zelda,
which is funny. That's weird. It's called Legend of Zelda.
Did you watch the trailer? In the trailer, Link falls into this pit.
Yes.
There's like pits happening everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's falling down, he shoots an arrow into Zelda, who's trapped in like a crystal, and it hits her, like it hits the crystal.
Yeah.
If it would have penetrated the crystal, Link would have killed her. Yeah. Zelda with an arrow to the face.
It would have been the Legend of Link.
And then he disappears. And she's like, thank you.
So, as somebody that doesn't play a lot of Zelda.
Yeah, I know. I haven't played any of the modern Zeldas. Okay. I love the handheld
Why do
Zeldas.
they call it the Legend of Zelda? Do they talk about that?
I don't know.
Because I have no idea. Because you never play as Zelda. She seems
she's
kind of a tertiary character.
She runs the kingdom.
Hyrule.
Yeah.
Pulled that out of nowhere, I'll be honest with you. So I guess it's just about her
she's always
reign.
the heir to the throne.
Yeah, she just relies on Zelda, though. Link. Link's doing everything in that kingdom.
There is some history. There's a through line through it.
Right. That makes sense.
But that makes sense. But you really have to dive deep into it and fill in the holes. But some of it connects really well.
I'll take your word for it, because I have no idea what's happening in those video games. No idea. Other than who's the main bad guy? The only reason I know the main Ganondorf. The only reason I know him is because of Super Smash Bros. Yeah. That's it. Don't know anything else about Zelda. I just never grew up playing it.
I always thought he takes on a couple forms.
Yeah, he was like a big dragon or whatever in Breath of the Wild.
And he's always usually a pig. He is in this game. Like a
physically an actual pig
looking guy. Yeah. Some boar looking dude. All the time. Okay.
Weird.
You should play the original Zelda. It's actually really, really, really cool.
I'm not going to do that.
Still really good.
I don't think so.
with
Probably
a
not.
great soundtrack. My God.
Yeah, well, Zelda is pretty well known for having really good soundtracks. Like Ocarina
There's
of Time,
also
historically.
let's put it out there. Zelda games are not always good. Some of them are downright awful.
I don't. I remember wasn't there like Triforce Heroes or whatever that came out? That was a Legend of Zelda game that came out relatively recently.
Yeah,
and
it was a spin-off though.
But that's what I mean. I think that's what this feels like. It feels like kind of just a spin-off of another Zelda game.
But a lot of those are really good.
Yeah, it just depends on what you get. Again,
the Minish Cap, Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, fantastic Game Boy Advance game. One of my favorite Zeldas of all time.
What was
Top 3?
They had one.
Top 4.
They had one where you could actually shoot, not actually, but you shot a bow and arrow in game.
Yeah, that's Skyward Sword, and then there was one before Skyward Sword. It was a Wii version.
The Wii. That's what it was. It was a Wii version.
Twilight
Princess.
There you go.
That's No, I can't believe I'm pulling these names out. I'll be honest with you. I've never played these games. But yeah, The Legend of Zelda, new game coming out. Pretty cool. You know, whatever.
People love Zelda games.
Everybody's going to like it. Somebody's going to like it. Everybody's going to enjoy it.
What I thought would be real quick before you move on.
Go ahead.
Is that this game looks a lot like a few other Zelda-like games that have come out in the last, 5 to 8 years. One of them is Tunic. You've never heard of Tunic.
I've never heard of it. Is it Tunic?
Yep.
Okay.
And
the way you say Tunic, by the way.
Am I saying it wrong?
You say it kind of weird.
Tunic.
It sounds like you're saying Toonick.
What am I supposed to say?
Tunic. No. But you're like putting a lot of emphasis on the Tunic.
Whatever.
I don't know. That could just be me. I don't know.
You have this weird Minnesota accent.
Could be. I'm not from Minnesota.
I'm just joking.
I'm not from Minnesota.
I actually love. So
Are Minnesotans?
We live in Sheridan, Wyoming, and I love the accents here because they come from a lot of places.
I was gonna say, what's funny is I've never noticed an accent.
I know, but
because
there
that's
is.
just how it works.
I didn't notice it until our coworker and buddy Aaron was talking about dragons, and he called it a dragon.
Oh, okay.
He's like, some dragon. I was like, dragon?
So anything that goes like a or a like that, maybe weird.
It's got that little Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Vibe. Don't you know? You betcha.
You bet, dude. Fargo. I love Fargo. One of my favorite
also,
movies.
Crosscode, Oceanhorn. I wanted to mention Death's Door. These are all very similar Zelda-like games that this new one looks exactly like, and you can make more beds.
What does that mean? Oh,
tables, beds, enemies. That's the mechanic.
That's
you copy these things.
That's the big mechanic
to make platform jumps. I guess. Game looks pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not for us.
Without the Zelda flair or that Nintendo flair, I should say.
Yeah.
Stamp of approval. People would treat this like the game Tunic, which you've never heard of and no one ever played, but was fantastic actually.
Okay.
But
that's the thing. If it's fantastic, then
it's going to be polished.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they don't release bad. Like they don't release poorly made games.
Sometimes I want Nintendo to,
just come back down to earth.
Exactly, so they can do something big, like really big,
and then just be garbage.
But no, they always just knock it out of the park with everything they do. So
yeah, they don't fail. The only thing that I don't think we give them enough credit for is they really do. They give their developers a lot of time to whatever they're working on.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Metroid Prime 4.
Right, exactly. They're like, look,
I think they announced that 8 years ago.
Work on this forever. We don't care. At least to release it at some point, but as long as it takes. What's the famous saying? It's a delayed game is only delayed for a little while, but a bad game is bad forever.
I think a Nintendo guy said that.
Yeah, I know. That's where I think that's what I was thinking of, which isn't necessarily true anymore. You can fix it over time. But back then, that was the case.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Still that kind of same way.
What's next on the docket, James?
Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Oh. It's the fighting game collection that I know you're excited for.
Yeah, plus a beat 'em up in there with a Punisher. Which
Punisher.
Probably my top 3 beat 'em up arcade games. I played
of all time.
Yeah, but I'll put Final Fight, Golden Axe, and Punisher.
Golden Axe. I know that game.
Yeah, it's very good. Golden Axe is number 1.
I know that game. Oh, maybe we did this. I think maybe we did it top 5.
No, we talked about arcades. I think.
Oh, okay.
Was that? Go back to the arcades episode
wherever it is. We have no idea which episode that is.
It was like
forever ago. So yeah, there are these beat 'em ups coming up. Are you excited to play these? Do you want to? Well, they're only
fighting
coming to
games,
Switch.
so they're like Marvel superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2.
There's a whole there's 7 of them.
Children of Atom, X-Men. They all practically have the same mechanics in it. Mm-hmm. So if everybody's just gonna play Marvel vs. Capcom 2,
right? That makes sense.
That's the biggest one, the best one too. Very notoriously known to be unbalanced when it comes to the competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they tweak it. You think they will?
I would hope so.
It does have online play, right?
Yeah. I don't know for sure.
No, yeah, the trailer
it does.
showed,
okay, yeah.
Showed like lobbies and stuff.
Which, good luck. It's on Switch, so
I don't own a Switch. I wish I did.
Yeah, they use they're still using like dial-up over there. It's insane. They have no idea how it works anymore. But yeah, I mean, look, I think it's funny how we're getting a lot of these like collections now, and this is one of them.
It's been that way for years, dude.
But it feels like it's just it has. But more recently, it's been like ramping up where we just get like a random collector collection.
I love these collections. Konami's
they're great.
Konami's been doing it a lot lately in the last few years with the Ninja Turtles collection.
Yeah,
which was great.
And they also make
Contra, Castlevania collections, and
they
all
also
that stuff.
make what's something they make more modern. Not Resident Evil.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have never made a Silent Hill collection. They did an HD.
I thought they did. Yeah.
They did an HD remaster of Silent Hill 2.
But it wasn't a collection.
And
I thought it was a collection.
It might have been Silent Hill 3 in the room, possibly, but I don't know.
Man.
Silent Hill 2,
Talk about
3,
never
4,
making
and
anything
then the
good
room.
in the last 25 years.
I don't believe that was a collection because I'd be playing it right now because I love those games.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that Silent Hill 2 remaster was awful.
Yeah. Konami. Speaking of people that hasn't done anything good in 25 years. That's not fair. Sorry. They do Metal Gear.
Yeah. And
Phantom Pain was that released by Konami?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. Never mind.
But there was one after that. Do you remember that? Do you remember the one?
Yeah, I do.
The non-Kojima
Yeah,
one?
it's Metal Gear Solid 5.
No, it's not 5.
It's Metal Gear Solid 4.
No, there's no number on
it. Metal Gear Solid. I remember.
It's like zombies or something.
Oh right, yeah. And
there's also Revengeance, which is the.
I forgot they did the Metal Gear zombie.
I forgot his name. Awful. The ninja guy who has it's like a standalone Devil May Cry.
Ninja Gaiden. Whatever. Sekiro.
Stop.
Ninja guy?
Ninja Gaiden.
No, but you said it's a ninja guy.
It's a ninja guy from Metal Gear. He's like the cyborg ninja.
Pass. No, don't know, sir.
Can't wait for you to get
Psycho Mantis.
I can't wait for you to get in Metal Gear. I'm so excited.
I know. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But
wait, what? You said you were going to play
Yeah,
him.
I know, but now it's like, there's so much. I feel like I'm going to be so far behind.
You'll start with Delta and you'll be happy. Because it'll come out.
Triangle.
Possibly
it's called
this
Triangle.
year.
Metal Gear Solid Triangle. Snake Eater. I hope they get the song in that game. Stray is coming to Switch. Perfect game to come to Switch.
I didn't know
that makes so much sense.
I had no idea that it wasn't on Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it's not coming earlier. But Stray is that's like a perfect game for Switch.
That was a good
handheld.
game.
You could play it on an airplane.
That was the very first game that Odin played from beginning to end.
Really?
Himself. Yeah.
Did he start liking cats after that?
He's always liked cats.
Okay, well that's probably why he started he played the game then.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Stray looks awesome. And again, it's a perfect Switch game.
Really cool. I just wish you could free jump, but you can't. I guess it's okay for someone like Odin.
You can jump off the tallest building and be okay. Because cats have 9 lives.
That has a really good atmosphere in that game. Really, really good.
It's like cyberpunk.
Super weird.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah. Have you not played it?
Nope. I'm making all this up as I go.
Okay.
But I do want to play it really bad. I want to play it but I've seen so much of it.
The intro is really cool. You start off with your friends and you're going on an adventure. You're just like walking like cats do.
And then what happens? You end up...
You go down like a sewage chute of some sort.
Yeah, but because of that, you end up...
Strayed. Stray.
That's correct.
Strayed?
Stray.
Past tense of stray?
You end up stray. You end up as a stray, I guess.
I think you're wrong.
You end up strained. Oh, no, dude.
Jesus.
Like spaghetti.
Straining my brain right now.
Remember, hey, speaking of Switch, one of my favorite Switch games that I ever actually played, it's not a Nintendo game. Did you ever play My Name is Pedro?
Yeah,
that
really
game
good.
is awesome. I love that video game.
It's like a side-scrolling shooter, right?
And you're like
physics-based?
And you're like a banana. Or no, you're not.
No.
Your friend is banana.
Your friend is banana.
Yeah, your friend is banana. Your friend is a banana.
Yeah,
That's right.
Pedro's.
God, that game's awesome. I love that game. I played that game a bunch on the Switch. It's a perfect Switch game. And Stray, also a perfect Switch game. So it's coming to Switch. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah.
The Wii game. It's getting remastered. I don't know if it's getting remastered.
Wait a minute. I thought this was a Super, because there's Donkey Kong Country.
Yep. I think this is Country Returns.
So
it's the Wii game.
Oh.
It's the Wii game that actually
was it a remake? Was it a remake of the original Donkey Kong Country?
No, I think it's a sequel.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a sequel.
So it looked like a 2.5D polygonal Donkey Kong. I'm not a fan of those. I like Donkey Kong.
I'm curious to see how they do it because it works. It worked relatively well with the Wii, which was, few and far between, to be honest with you. And I'm curious to see how they kind of match that with the Switch, because I know the Switch cons have quote unquote Wii style controller capabilities and stuff, but it's not 1-to-1. And I'm curious to see how they make it work in this game. I don't know if it's a remaster or if it's just a port. I think they are upscaling it, obviously,
did look old.
HD. But yeah, I don't think it's a remaster or anything like that. They don't really remaster stuff at Nintendo. They just kind of upscale it and then port it or whatever.
Yeah. Did you notice all the ports of Perfect Dark?
I did
Turok.
Yeah.
And they're not the Night Dive Studio versions of Turok.
They're the original ones.
So why would you do that?
They probably can't do the Night Dive Studio ones.
I mean, they're not like a graphical powerhouse or anything.
But I know, but I mean, like they probably don't have the licensing to do it through Night Dive.
So they're just using the old Nintendo 64 games. The reason why
it's a Nintendo 64 game.
But the reason why Night Dive does those games, because those games are impossible to play today.
Right.
Because they're awful when it comes to controls and frame rate.
I wonder if they'll fix some of that. Like
they better.
I'm curious. I would assume that they'll see what Night Dive Studios did, and they were like, okay, well, we can just do that and then port it.
They did that with GoldenEye, where they brought GoldenEye to the Switch, and they made it online capable
and playable. Because GoldenEye is kind of garbage if you go back and play it.
So hopefully Perfect Dark will have that same treatment.
Yeah. I wouldn't assume. I would assume so.
Perfect Dark is really fun.
I don't know any game.
Really
like,
fun.
If you're porting something, and I don't think Nintendo does this, but you can't really port something that plays like garbage on the Nintendo 64 into a modern console. Like, that would just not be smart at all. Because you were not going to make any money off of it. What's the point?
Dude, Nintendo can just
they
go
can
number 2 in a box and then slap a Nintendo sticker on it, and people will be like, "Oh, I love it."
Hey, it's Poopiji.
No.
Toilet strikes again. Did you ever see the movie Flushed Away?
No.
Oh God, it's awesome.
Is it about a turtle?
No, it's about
Say it. Is it about?
It's about a high-rise rat.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
And he lives in like the nicest parts of Paris and whatnot. And then he gets flushed down the toilet, and then he has to go live in like the sewers with all the like low-scale rats who live in the sewers and whatnot. It's like Ratatouille, but scarier animation, and they're not cooking anything. He's
it's
just
like
trying to get
Pets.
back. Yeah, kind of.
The bunny voiced by
Kevin Hart.
For
some reason, I don't know why we're doing that. But kind of. Funny enough, do you know who voices the main rat in Flush Away?
No, Kevin Hart.
No, it's I can't remember his name now.
Oh, good job.
The guy that plays Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman, yeah. Oh. He plays the main
Is he an Australian? Is it Hugh Jackman with the Australian accent?
No, I think they just speak in normal English.
Okay.
Because it's a Pixar.
In normal.
Well, American
normal.
And American English. Yeah, there's like no accent or anything like that.
Thank God. I wouldn't be able to handle it any other way.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. And I'm like, why did he want to do this? But yeah, Flushed Away. Also coming to Switch. No, not really.
I like Hugh Jackman. I
love Hugh Jackman. I think he's great. He hasn't really...
He's like the prototype for do steroids.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's the prototype for do steroids.
No,
there's no failure stories.
You know who's not? Joanna
Coleman.
Dark.
Joanna Dark.
Don't do steroids.
Joanna Dark?
Yeah, she looks
Perfect
like
Zero?
Yeah.
She can't do... She's not...
Did you see the new trailer? She's jacked, and she's got that jawline from the East German swim team. I mentioned it last week.
She should be jacked. She's swinging around on stuff. She should be huge.
That's what I'm saying.
What was I saying? Hugh Jackman. I don't know if I've ever seen anything outside of X-Men related that I was like, wow, he's really good in this. No, that's not true. Prisoners.
What?
He's really good in Prisoners.
You need to watch The Prestige.
I've seen that too. Yeah, never mind.
Really good.
Take it back. I don't know if I like him as much in that movie as I do Christian Bale, but Prisoners. If you've seen Prisoners,
I've seen it.
Prisoners is great, and
Yeah.
he's really good in that movie.
Pretty crazy. All
So
right,
yeah,
let's-
flushed
video
away.
games.
Flushed away. Coming to Switch. Not really. That's a joke. Let's move on. Metroid 4 Beyond.
Okay, is this the last one? Because I want to talk about this one a lot.
There was a new Mario Party game that was
Womp
revealed.
womp.
You know, whatever. But Mario Parties are kind of cool. I like Mario Party.
They are, but how many are you going to get?
I also think that's like a game specifically made for couch co-op. I don't think you can really do Metro
Party.
Mario Party very well online. So, you know, but whatever. Metroid 4 Beyond. Go ahead. Take it away,
Metroid
sir.
4 Beyond.
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, Prime
Excuse me,
4. Sorry.
said it wrong. Take it away, sir.
How long? This was announced 8 years ago, I believe. And I saw the gameplay, and it looked like a PS2 game.
Obama was in office the last time this was announced.
Which was, it looks cool. I like PS2 shooters, but it has an auto aim.
Is it a side scroller? Or is
No,
it,
it's a first person shooter.
Okay.
And
really?
I have high hopes for Metroid. I loved Metroid Prime, the original Metroid Prime. So good.
Didn't they remaster that recently too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And it didn't really, supposedly, it didn't hold up as well as people thought it was going to. But someone like me would have played it and loved it because it's very backtracky. All Metroid games are. And this one looked very linear from what I saw. Very small snippet. The environment looked like a hallway in a cave sort of thing.
I'm in.
Enemies would jump in, pretty cinematic. Almost had like a Call of Duty flair with set pieces like landing in front of you.
Gotcha. Yeah. Stuff blowing up around you.
Stuff blowing up around you, and then the enemies were just popping out and standing and shooting, not doing anything. And then
it sounds closer to like an on-rail
good old
shooter.
Samus was just holding down an auto aim button and just plugging away. The real meat and potatoes of these games are the exploration. Is like when you go into a little ball and you environmental puzzles and stuff like that. They didn't show any of that. So
really,
they just showed the shooty parts.
Is this
which
gonna be
were very lackluster?
Is this going to be the first Metroid game since before Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, Metroid Prime 3 came out on the Wii, I think. GameCube, Wii.
I think it's the Wii. I think you're right.
I think both of them came out on both of them.
Remember on the Wii you could play GameCube games on the Wii?
Yeah,
because they read both. Very cool.
No one. I had a friend that didn't know that for about 15 years.
I played a lot of like Super Smash Bros. Melee with a GameCube controller and on like a GameCube disc.
Yeah,
through my Wii, just because it was easier that way.
You just got to put the little disc in.
Yeah, nobody knew that, or not nobody, but a lot of people knew that, but some people didn't. And then, funny story, our Wii broke because my brother got peanut butter in it. Because he was eating celery and peanut butter, and he got some peanut butter inside the disc tray. Could never play it again.
I'd be so mad.
We were mad. I mean, it was not great. So yeah, Metroid Prime 4.
What did you think? Did you see the trailer?
I didn't see the trailer.
Oh man, James.
I figured you were going to carry but I've never played any Metroid games, so I don't really,
Yeah, I really wanted to see some Metroid stuff. All I saw was some lackluster.
Yeah, I don't know the
stuff.
I don't know the tendencies for Metroid, so I don't know like what they normally look like. Are people happy about this?
It looked cool.
Not happy about
Usually
this?
you're in a desolate planet, but this looked like a war going on.
Okay, cool. I like that. Transformers.
Yeah, it looked very much like Transformers.
Yeah, love that. You're on Cybertron.
Mm-hmm.
Samus comes in. Is arguably the biggest twists in video. Top 5. Arguably biggest twists in video game history when Samus comes out and she's a woman.
I remember exactly the day and the time I found out that it was a woman. It was on the playground.
Really?
And someone said it's a girl. They beat it, and then I think when she loses her armor, she's like in a pink bikini or something like.
No,
underwear.
she's in the blue suit.
Blue suit?
Yeah,
no?
the blue. Isn't she in the blue suit?
Oh
no, you're right. In the original Metroid.
Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Man,
and we didn't believe him, and so I think me and my brothers like spent that weekend and we beat it, and we're like, wow, it's true.
She's so sexy.
Yeah,
and it was about 16 pixels, you could say. Awesome.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first heroines that really like rode the video game wave, and then Lara Croft. Probably someone before Lara Croft, but yeah.
Princess Peach. No, she's always.
Princess Peach, we watched the Nintendo, not the Nintendo, but the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Right.
Bowser was very lame.
Jack Black.
Yeah, very, very lame. But other than that, it was pretty cool. Luigi was not in it at all.
Really?
I mean, he was in it in the beginning and in the end, and that's it.
It's because he was out plumbing still.
He was captured.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Was Peach captured? Because that's all she ever does in these games.
Peach was not captured. She was like
movies.
She was like the ruler of her kingdom, and she was the sole warrior of that kingdom, I guess. But it was pretty good, and it was. But Melody was saying how she always picked Princess Peach in Mario Brothers 2. I was like, no, I always picked Luigi, and she said she's way better. And we're like, no, and we had an argument, and so we fired it up, and Princess Peach is the best player in that game by far. It's not even close.
How is she rescuing herself? Isn't Super Mario Bros. 2 you got to rescue Peach again?
Yeah,
that's the whole
Mario
game.
Brothers. But in the movie, they're like, we're switching it up for modern audiences.
Right. Which is, to be fair, Super Mario Brothers. They've had the same story for the last 27 years. If they didn't do
something different, it would have been annoying. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So whatever, fair enough. So, I've never seen the movie. It also made actually almost $1 billion. So
it was. I think it was made by Nintendo, and the splash screen was really cool.
Like at the beginning,
Nintendo logo they showed was really, really cool. There were so many
Easter eggs and whatnot.
Easter eggs. Yeah. It was kind of
makes sense.
That's all I did was point out the Easter eggs.
It's like
even when Peach jumps, she floats with her dress, makes her float longer, just like in Mario Bros. 2.
You gotta watch the Fallout show. Because that's all the Fallout show. That's the whole thing. As you're just watching the show, and then you're like Jolly Jacks, let's go, dude.
I'll let the cringe. I'll allow the cringe on a kids movie. I can't watch a cringy.
It's not cringy.
It's good. I watched the first episode, and I was like,
oh my god,
dude. I can't do it. I'm out.
Awesome. I loved.
We're talking about TV a lot in this episode.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? We're multimedia.
Nothing's wrong. I don't like TV. There's not many movies I like. There's not many shows I like. I like Game of Thrones, and that's about it.
Hot D, House of the Dragon, and then The Boys too. You gotta watch The Boys.
I watch Arcane, which is a League of Legends Netflix.
Oh yeah,
that one's fantastic.
Ella Purnell is in that. She's the girl that plays Lucy in Fallout. She's one of the main voices. Yeah, in Arcane.
Which character does she play?
I can't remember their names, but I know she's one of the main characters.
Sister. The main character?
I'm going to say no because I don't know. But I know she's in it. She's the main character in Arcane.
Cool.
So there you go.
That's a fantastic show.
Yeah, I've heard
that's state-of-the-art animation there.
That's a League of Legends show, right? Or is it? Yeah. Okay.
So all the characters from League of Legends, the game, are in that show, which I don't play League of Legends.
Yeah, there's 150 League of Legends characters.
Yeah, so I'm sure they're even like the side characters are playable game characters in the game. I just never noticed.
Yeah, I've never played League either.
I like Dota.
Whoa.
That style.
That might be a hot take.
What is that, MOBA?
Yeah.
Massive online battle arena games?
3-lane games?
Yeah, 3 lanes.
The 3 lanes. Okay, let's move on. That's a Nintendo Direct.
Bye, Nintendo.
You guys might be more excited for it than us. Totally
you know what?
fair.
I think our audience likes Nintendo.
Hey, shout out to you guys. You guys like Nintendo. More power to you, to be honest with you.
I like Nintendo. I think they have the power to dominate the console space. They're happy where they're at.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're gonna make our little handhelds.
Yeah.
Dominate that. That's all we need. To be fair, they say, hey, we're gonna dominate that, and then other people are trying to follow suit. Steam made a handheld system. Xbox is rumored to be making a handheld system. So,
we talked about our disappointments. I don't think I mentioned that I was disappointed last week by not hearing about the handheld.
That could be your disappointment.
Yeah.
By all means, I don't need it. I don't need an Xbox handheld system. I don't know anybody that really does need an Xbox.
I would love to play Game Pass games like just on my couch or in my bed.
You can do that on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but I have to stream it. I don't like streaming.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd love to download a Game Pass game on my designated handheld.
I just don't know how they could do it, and it'd be like a handheld that is not necessarily attainable, but something that you can actually use on like planes. Because I'm thinking of imagine shrinking even the Series S down to a handheld capable system. Like, there's no way with all the stuff that they have in there.
No, but you can run some games. You can't run. He might be able to run Halo. That would be a big selling point.
Right. Yeah, that's
Infinite.
True. But then
probably not big team battle, but
right. Or like, hey, I want to play Red Dead Redemption 2. There's no way you're playing that on that thing.
For the fans of Red Dead Redemption don't mind frame rate, so if they're like, you can play this game at 15 frames, and everyone's like, oh, it's the greatest game ever.
Guys, Don't listen to them. All you have to do is adjust the old FOV, and it feels like you're running around at 60 frames. It's nothing.
The FOV does help. I must.
Yeah,
admit.
I'm down to 70 FOV, and it feels like I'm walking around at
70 FOV is not good enough. I need like 110. But yeah, go ahead.
Or no, sorry, I'm at maximum FOV. I always get them reversed. I'm at a maximum FOV, so like 110, 120, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's high.
It
as
makes
possible.
the first person tolerable.
See, I can't do the first person in any of those Rockstar games. When they brought it to GTA 5, and then they did it for this game, I can't do it.
It does feel really good when you take a knife.
Okay.
Just
all right, chill, dude.
Stop.
What are you? Who's the?
I'll be like the Liberty City serial killer or the Los Santos serial killer guy.
Still a mystery.
Still a mystery.
Don't know the answers. Okay, so let's move on. Honestly, that's like the news. Nintendo Direct, that was pretty much it. Didn't have a lot going on. So I'm going to move on to what we're playing.
Can I start?
Valorant.
Yes, Valorant.
Go ahead.
You played a little bit, right?
Played a little bit.
I want to talk about your VR experience after Valorant.
Okay, go ahead. Tell everybody why they should enjoy Valorant, even though nobody's going to play it.
See, James thinks no one's going to play Valorant on console. I think you're completely wrong.
I know.
It's a free-to-play shooter, first-person shooter, highly competitive game. It's a hero shooter, but it's closer to Counter-Strike than it is Overwatch, easily. And it's almost akin to Rainbow Six Siege, where it's a Rainbow Six Siege is a hero shooter. Would you agree? Rainbow Six Siege? I don't think it is either. But some people would. It's mostly you pick a character who has abilities, and those abilities play out in your highly competitive 5v5 match.
But the only ability you have...
deliver a bomb and you defend a bomb.
The only ability that you have... And it's only one ability. There are multiple abilities you can have in Valorant.
Well, the real ability is your super or your ultimate.
Ultimate, right.
Which is... Everything else is almost like it's a variation, and I've said this a million times, it's a variation of a smoke, a flash, some sort of fire or Molotov or a bomb, or a speed boost, or a jumping boost. It's really that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Now, your ultimates are almost like it's just a higher powered way to get a kill or to reveal people. Yeah. And that's really it. It's not like Overwatch where your
ultimate, what you describe as ultimate, that is Overwatch.
No, it's like a bomb, like a grenade. Raze's ultimate is a rocket launcher, a very slow moving rocket launcher that if you can time it at a choke point, you can get a kill. Mm-hmm. If you're extremely lucky, you can get 2 kills if their other team sucks. But it's not like Overwatch where you can kill all 5 of them and then they respawn really fast. They don't want to make it as overpowered like that because this is a very competitive game. It's mostly Counter-Strike with heavy emphasis on movement penalties. Yeah. And I was worried about Valorant coming to console with aim assist because I think aim assist would kill this game. And they released this beta. It's obviously in beta. Mm-hmm. It's a very obvious beta with a heavy amount of aim assist.
I don't think there's any situation in which you can't have aim assist.
I think you can. Now, Rainbow Six Siege doesn't have aim assist, and I get it. Rainbow Six Siege is more close quarters. Yeah. But it's still way harder in Siege to get a kill than Valorant. Yeah. Way harder at this stage. I think if you take the aim assist in this new Valorant console game and you drop it by 75%, you'll be fine. Because it's so easy to get a flick headshot. If you do the range and you shoot bots and you flick your right joystick left and right to the bots, you will not miss. It practically stops on a head. It will stop on someone's head. That needs to be fixed. Other than that, I'm having a lot of fun. I think this game has tons of potential when it does get the kinks fixed. Yeah. And I think it'll be the premier hero shooter on console. It was not even close. This game is fantastic. There's no game like Counter-Strike on console. Not even close. Doesn't even, no matter what you say, it's not even, nothing feels like Counter-Strike. It's not even close. Valorant is the next best thing. I always call Valorant Counter-Strike light. It's easier to get into. It's a little bit easier, but it's still highly competitive and obviously played at the highest levels more than, there's probably 3 or 4 shooters that are played at the highest level. And that's Counter-Strike, Halo, Valorant, and one of the Quake games.
I don't think you can there's nothing like Counter-Strike on console.
No, not even close.
But console has carved out its own version of the multiplayer first-person shooter realm.
See, this is
competitively.
It sounds like you've never played Counter-Strike before because there's nothing remotely close.
No,
to
I understand that. I get what you're saying. Okay. I understand. Okay. But I'm saying they have shown that they don't need it.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't need the Counter-Strike on console.
They don't need it. Grant needs it.
No, I understand. Yeah, obviously. but the other thing is, the thing that I think they're going to struggle with, Valorant, what I'm talking about, you're not going to get the M&K people to come over and play Valorant on console. There's no shot.
I'm playing a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but if you can run it on your PC, you're going to play it on your PC.
I can run it on my PC. I'd prefer it on my couch.
Why?
Because
it's a competitive multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
That
I can play
but every other single competitive multiplayer shooter is more advantage to be played on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
There's not a single one that is not.
I think Rainbow Six Siege is the closest to like a highly competitive first-person shooter on console that
that's because
on a couch and a controller.
But that's also because both in terms of gameplay-wise, the settings are the same. So you don't have aim assist on console, you don't have aim assist, obviously, or anything like that on PC.
Now, I think a lot of people don't think that games like Counter-Strike, games like Valorant can be played on consoles simply because there's too much to have to sacrifice in order to
it's going to feel like a different game.
The same game.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to feel like the same game. I think it's okay for a console player to miss a couple shots. As of right now, if you're really good at this game, you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Because the aim assist is so strong that all you do is line it up and not move and shoot and then pull the trigger and you're going to get a headshot. When it comes to the powers and the map rotations and the communication, that's a whole different thing. But when it comes to the controls, for example, Siege on PC plays not radically, but very different than Siege on console. Yeah. And it's okay. Totally okay.
Yeah, they're just two different metas.
Yeah, I mean, they're on console, you can't clear a room like you can in PC Siege.
Right.
On PC Siege, you can look at all 500 corners in a room really fast. On console, you have to slow down.
Yeah.
But I think it's still fun. It's just it feels like a different game. It is the same game. The updates are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Valorant on console does not have the same gunplay as a PC. There isn't on PC, you don't have to counter strafe. Now, in counter strafing is a Counter-Strike term where if you're moving left, you're holding W, you have to move right quickly to stop faster. In Valorant on PC, you don't have to do that. You just let go of W and your guy stops really quick. Now on this console version, I think to compensate a lot of things, they make you kind of float a little bit when you stop. And to stop from doing that, you have to counter strafe. So if you're moving left, you have to move right really fast to stand still quickly. It's very hard to explain, but that's what you have to do now and on the console version, just like you would have to do on PC Counter-Strike. And stuff like that.
And you're trying to sell me this game.
This movement, it's a very highly competitive game, so there are a lot of intricacies in the movement, extreme intricacies in the movement.
Yeah.
So I really like that. There's nothing like that on console. And so I'm hoping that Valorant will lower the aim assist, fix their... it doesn't run the greatest, especially at 60 frames. It drops to 50, like up and down, 50 to 60 almost constantly.
Because it wasn't made for console.
Almost constantly. Well, it's being made. That's why it's a limited
but you're
beta.
I don't... The problem that I have... mainly, or not necessarily a problem, but just I think people are just kind of tired of the genre.
No, it sucks that you are right. It sucks. But I think that if people give this a chance, especially now, man, after we just saw a whole summer fest of 5v5
hero shooters,
and Souls-like games.
Yeah. And nobody's going to do better than the Souls people.
And no one's going to do better than,
Counter-Strike?
I want to say Counter-Strike and Valorant, but Counter-Strike's not a hero shooter, but Overwatch is over. No one's gonna do better than Overwatch, probably. But
I would say like the original hero shooter would probably be something closer to like League or Dota.
Really,
they're not really shooters.
No, I know. I got you.
That idea.
That's probably where it comes from.
Yeah,
that's what I used to say about Overwatch. I used to say, oh, it's like a Unreal Tournament or Quake, but just with MOBA sensitivity.
Yeah. And even before that, like I remember Black Ops 3 was doing where you would have to pick and they weren't really heroes necessarily, but they all had ultimate abilities that you could use to shoot.
Is this like a zombie situation?
No, this was a multiplayer. Remember the Tempest? You could shoot your electrical gun.
Oh shoot!
It was a hero shooter.
That was in the jumpy
Black Ops 3
one.
Yeah, and that was before Overwatch.
Yeah, that they had ultimates.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I just played that recently too.
Yeah, and you could pull out you have the grenade girl that can pull out like the grenade launcher and stuff. And
yeah, the guy with the lightning gun.
Yeah,
I always picked him.
Yeah,
the Tempest.
So yeah, I just think even if it's really good, like even if it's really well ported, I just don't think people want this type of game very much anymore. I think it's been played out, especially on console, because we've gotten so many of these 5v5 hero shooters that just have not panned out to anything, and you quickly are just wanting something else. At least that's how I've been. Like I played Overwatch, I played Overwatch 2, and after a while, like I enjoy my time for some amount of time playing Overwatch, and then after a while, it's just like, okay, there's so many people that are better than me at this, and
I can play Overwatch. I just have to play with 5 people. I have to play with people.
Same. That's how I am too. It's hard to solo queue, but I'm the same way with Siege. Like if I don't have a 3 stack, then I'm probably not going to play.
Yeah, 2 is hard. Yeah, it's way better than 1. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, solo. The dogs out there that are solo queuing.
I don't think I've ever played a game that is harder to play by yourself than Rainbow Six Siege.
It's basically impossible.
I've only played Valorant by myself, and I've given codes to everybody I know, and nobody has played with me. Shout out Garrett. Shout out my brother Blair.
Sorry.
Shout out this guy.
I'm one of them. Yeah. I played it for a little bit.
Yeah. Did you like the mechanic? So in this game, there's a mechanic where it's a focus mode.
Yeah.
Where it's somewhere between ADS and hip shooting, and all it does is lower the sensitivity.
Right.
And it might kick in the aim assist a little harder. That's like up in the air. A lot of people don't know yet if that's true.
That makes sense for them trying to port it to console, because you can't have it, because it's primarily a hip fire game, right? Like you can ADS, but you're primarily hip fire.
Yeah, you don't need to.
So
it's all point firing. It's all aiming and shooting.
You can't have them just go directly into ADS, because then it's a completely different game. You've just made a separate style of game.
Well, you can set it on your settings.
I know, but
hold left trigger.
But I'm saying just for the development purposes.
Yeah.
They want it to feel and look like Valorant.
Yeah.
And Valorant is a swing around in your hip fire, and then, like you said, a movement, important movement type of video game.
Yeah. I think that's what is going to be lost on me. I don't think that they are trying to recreate the feeling and the look of the PC version, where you go out and you peek around a corner, and if someone's there and someone's aiming at that corner, which most likely is, you're going to die. You get headshot immediately. So therefore, you need to use your abilities to smoke off their section and to flank them, or to somehow get them off that spot so you can make a move. I just really don't think you need that on console. I think that you can just let there be room for people to miss. Like, is it that bad of a thing for people to not hit headshots constantly?
But that's the thing. There aren't many console games that have come out that are like heavily wanting you to hip fire more than ADS. Halo, but the difference in the bloom is a lot smaller than it is in like Valorant when you're hip firing and running around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exactly like Halo though. It's just.
But I'm talking
the battle royale
in terms of
battle royale, the
battle
battle rifle.
But the bloom is different. So, like, if you're moving in Halo back and forth with the battle rifle, your bloom doesn't change
it doesn't.
When you're firing.
No.
And Valorant's way different. Yeah. It's going all over the place.
Oh, that's what you mean by bloom. Your reticle getting bigger.
Your reticle bloom. Yeah. So, that in Halo is like the only one that I could think of where it's not, you're constantly ADSing or.
Yeah. But then again, in Halo, you can't have that much of you can't have any movement penalty, because it doesn't take. Right. It takes like 5 shots to kill somebody.
Yeah. That's the whole combat is basically movement.
Yeah. and strafing and keeping your reticle on a guy.
Right, on somebody.
And
Yeah.
that's why the aim assist is pretty high in Halo, but it makes sense in Halo. We say it all the time. Halo does the aim assist better than everybody because it works with mouse and keyboard is just as good. It's just they've also had how many years to do that?
20 years now, something like that. So
has it been that long?
Halo 1 came out in 2001, so 23 years ago.
It'll be the 25th anniversary in a couple years.
Yeah, Halo 1.
A quarter of a century. And we're still talking about it every single episode here on
Halo.
Active Reload.
We love Halo. We love Halo. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, please.
Valorant's here. Let's go to what we're playing. Can I start?
Yeah.
How much do you have?
I'm playing Valorant. That's all I played.
I had a big weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I had a big weekend. I had a lot of games to play. I got a VR system. I'm in the MetaQuest 3 now. I'm in VR. Only got sick 1 or 2 times where I was like, okay.
We had to take it off.
Yeah, where I was like, I need to take this off. The first time I was playing Breachers, which is kind of a first-person shooter, Rainbow Six Siege style game in VR, technically. And I was standing playing that. I don't think that helped me, to be honest with you.
I didn't think
the sensation of moving while you're standing, but your body's not moving, is very odd.
I didn't think to mention that you should have sat down for all these games. Besides the exercise ones that you're going to talk about.
Breachers was that one. That one didn't sit well, literally.
How long
but I'm
did you play before you got sick? Like before you got woozy? Someone told you to take off.
Yeah,
like Steven told you to take it off.
Yeah, Steven was like, "Hey, if you start feeling sick, take it off." I think it was
don't bust through it.
Yeah, no, don't, because then your brain starts to associate.
Yep.
Probably about 15 minutes.
Oh, so you actually went pretty long.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I'd also been playing before that, not Breachers, but other games before that, so I kind of had an idea of what I was getting into. But the movement, like without that sensation, was very odd. And that was kind of the only time. The other one was I was playing. I was playing Walkabout Golf, which is a miniature, like a putt-putt game. Awesome. Really cool.
Well, reviewed.
Yeah, it's very cool. But one of the mechanics in that game that I did not realize was a mechanic in that game until I did it was I pointed my controller, I guess it's a controller. You point your controller to the sky, and if you hold down your right trigger for long enough, you'll just start to fly. You start going straight up. So that sensation of me not realizing I was flying and the world just going up in front of me, I almost yacked it right there. I almost threw up all over the place.
So you're not ready to jump out of a plane with us? Yeah.
Maybe not. No, we'll see. I think maybe part of it was me getting surprised by the fact that I was flying in the air, but I don't know. Maybe I should.
It's weird. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's an odd sensation. But that's it so far. Of the games I've been playing, Pistol Whip.
That's your favorite one?
Chef's Kiss. Love that game. It does that same thing where it moves you, but it's all
on rails, right?
Yeah, it's all on rails. So it's all in one line. So you can just look forward and you'll feel better a little bit. But it's an on rails like rhythm shooter.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And the music's really, really cool. All the mechanics of you shooting the guns feel really, really cool. It's awesome. It's probably been my favorite game that I've played so far. And I haven't played very many. I played 5 games total probably. But yeah, Pistol Whip is sick, and I'm gonna play that again tonight. I'm really excited to play it again. Just on rails, shooting fools, feel like John Wick. I'm killing everything. There's different campaigns you can play, and one of them you're in a robot world, and your guy's name is Asimov, John Asimov.
Oh, nice.
Which I thought was perfect. But yeah, it's great.
So that's
Pistol
cool.
Whip.
You didn't? Is that your only? Because Pistol Whip is a shooter. But it's not quite like the shooters on VR,
right?
And Breachers is a shooter.
Yeah.
But it's not a realistic shooter.
No.
It's you point and shoot, but you don't have to, they're not real guns. Like if you were to play Pavlov,
you're right.
You can actually see you can check your Glock, let's say. If there's a round in there, you can pop out your magazine, you put it in your hip.
Right. I haven't done any of that. No. Yeah.
All the cool handsy stuff. Yeah. So Beat Saber's handsy.
Handsy stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's have you gotten like the really cool VR moments? I think you might have not, because I think a really good VR moment when I played Pavlov for the first time. Somebody on my team, the round started and someone on my team gestured to come here. I was like, okay. And he tells me to open my hand. And I open my hand, and he puts a grenade in my hand. And then he does this. He goes, and you have to pull off the pin.
Yeah.
And I pulled out the pin, and then he put his hands up like, to throw it, and he's closing his ears, and I threw it, and it exploded, and then we started dancing. It was just super weird that you don't really get this interaction in any other video game. It's a total VR moment. Another one was when we were playing with that Battle Royale game. I always forget what it's called.
Ghosts of Tabor?
No.
Escape from Not Tarkov.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Contractors Showdown. Yeah. Where I'm flying, I'm coming down on a parachute, and he's already on the ground. I land on a really tall windmill. I'm probably 200 yards off the ground.
Yeah.
And I go,
this is making
I know,
me
this
sick.
would make you sick, for sure. It's a advanced VR game.
Yeah.
And we're on the radio, and Steven is saying like, hey, you see me? And I was like, hey, yeah, I see you. Like, do something with your hands. And I see him. He's a little tiny pixel, and he's waving like this. And I wave back. And then he does the, hello, brother. Or, what's up, brother? And
he does the sketch.
He does, that
sketch thing.
And we're laughing. Funny. I was like, man, you really can't get that anywhere other than VR.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't know if I've really...
Those are the moments I love.
I don't know if I've really had... I do think there are some points in Beat Saber that you're playing where, like, I don't know, like when you're hitting things correctly and stuff, and it's all one fluid motion, where it's like, okay, this is really cool.
You can definitely get in a zone in Beat Saber and Pistol Whip.
Yeah.
I haven't played Beat Saber very much. I only did it for like someone showed me what VR was, and the game was
that's everybody's intro. It feels like,
and I was just doing it, and I started sweating like a pig.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Then I passed it around. But I played the demo of Pistol Whip, I think, on my PlayStation 5, and I remember, it's you can get in the zone. You start sweating though. You're gonna get into shape.
That's kind of the whole point that I got it for.
It's a great tool to get in shape.
Yeah, to work out.
Plus, James, you were saying, and I totally agree when it comes to the gym, how you don't like to go to the gym unless you're achieving something, right? Unless you're like playing a game or
I don't like to
doing something where you get better at it.
I don't like to work out just to work out, if that makes sense. And playing something like in VR, like Pistol Whip, Supernatural's another one. That one's a lot more kind of workout oriented, but they straight up just, I mean, they took Beat Saber and were like, okay, we're just going to do this and make it a workout routine. And then they have some boxing stuff in there as well. I've been playing that. That's much more workout heavy and more workout focused. But stuff like Beat Saber, Pistol Whip, where you can just play like music that you're doing beats to, and then Pistol Whip, which is like a ton of originally made, I think, awesome music, and you're like killing bad guys at the same time. It's a great way to do like cardio and stuff.
Jeez.
And you don't even realize like how long is passing because you're just having a blast. I
would do that thrill of the fight. That when I got my VR, my Meta Quest or whatever, I got Thrill of the Fight. It was a boxing game, and I love.
You're walking fools down.
I love it.
Yeah,
but you do need a big area to.
Yeah, it's got to be. They recommend a 6 foot by 6 foot space for Thrill of the Fight. So I haven't been able to do that.
This room probably would barely be able to do.
Yeah, you would. You got the long. It's a long ring.
And I played that, and then I remember, shoot, dude, I was practically doing hour-long workouts with that. I was sweating. And then eventually, that game, it's boxing. So once you get the higher levels, it gets hard, and you try to, win. And it tells you need to punch harder, which means faster.
What does that mean?
So punch faster.
Yeah.
And so you start throwing punches fast, but you're not
making contact with anything?
You're making contact in the game, but your arm is really, it's not. It's one-to-one, but it's not one-to-one. When
you're throwing punches, you should probably be hitting something.
Yeah, you shouldn't overextend.
Yeah, bad for your shoulder.
And I remember I was tearing my shoulders apart. Yeah. And so I stopped. I haven't played in a few months because I think my shoulders are still messed up.
Dangerous
and
game.
My back. I started hurting my back, and then I was like, I shouldn't be playing this game.
Yeah.
But my nieces and nephews, when they come over, that's the game I get them to play, and I put it on hard. And it looks like a grown man trying to beat him up.
That's funny. And they're like small on the ground and whatnot.
Yeah, because you have to.
That's funny. They're like miniatures.
Sometimes if you can get them to stand on a table and because it measures your height, it'll make it even. But I don't do that to them. I make it look like
The
they're
little
up to
kids.
their like belly buttons.
Yeah. So yeah, VR. Yeah, the Pistol Whip's awesome. You want to be honest with me? Pistol Whip's maybe one of my favorite games of the year.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
I think you're gonna get the VR bug, and we're gonna talk a lot about VR games.
Probably already have. Maybe I already have it. I do. The thing is, I think I'll really get it when I stop getting once I start to play Breachers, and then I'm not getting sick. Then I'll be like, okay, let's play.
I want you to play Ghosts of Tabor with us because it's a lot of fun and it's very hard.
That's the extraction shooter one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But that is a
much more hardcore.
No, it makes you dizzy. It still makes me dizzy.
Okay. Great.
So it takes a while to get used to those.
That's the other thing too, is I hate getting dizzy. I hate getting dizzy.
Well, right now, sometimes if I don't play a game and then I start, if I don't play a VR game for a couple weeks and I start with Tabor, I'm like, I have to close my eyes a lot of times and like kind of center.
Yeah, reorient yourself.
And then after 10 minutes, it goes away.
Okay. Maybe I should do that then.
Don't do it right now.
No, right. Yeah.
Right now.
Get more used to it.
It's very important for you to take your headset off when you're sick.
Do you play sitting down in all those games too?
Yeah, I usually do a rotating chair.
Yeah,
so
I have a swivel, so I'm going to do that then.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I've been playing a bunch of VR games. They're awesome. I like it a lot so far. It's crazy. Honestly, that thing is kind of like a marvel. Like how well a lot of those games run on just a headset.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's kind of incredible what they're able to use.
How long does the battery last?
I have an external battery.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so it lasts. I haven't run it out with the external battery, so hours and hours. That would be if you are looking to get a VR, my first recommendation would be to get an external battery.
If you're going to get a MetaQuest, my first recommendation is the Pro set.
That too. Yeah, I have a Pro strap. Yeah,
that's so important.
It helps a lot. Especially with the glasses too.
Yeah, I wear glasses. It helps with the glasses. And if you're uncomfortable, then it's just, you're going to think about like something putting pressure on your cheeks and your nose and your forehead, and then you're going to get sick.
Yeah, it's going to be even worse. So yeah, VR's sick. Hey, who would have thought? VR, pretty cool.
I can't wait for you to join us and we get in some serious.
I want to get in there.
I think you're gonna love Breach. I think you're gonna like Breachers. It's very hard though.
I remember the thing was too when I was playing with Steven for a little bit, and we were playing it, and there was like a certain point that I hit that he was like talking to me, but I just wasn't hearing it because I was like, I don't feel good right now. It was like one of those. I was getting like the cold sweats and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, okay, Steven, I'll cover that door. Like that sort of stuff.
I wish I could recommend you like an on-rails type of game.
There's probably tons.
There are a bunch.
Yeah, there's probably tons.
Maybe there's a racing game, a motorcycle game that just came out.
Oh yeah,
looks very good. And racing, so you're not moving. You're not physically moving.
Yeah,
and I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, probably. Racing game would probably be a good middle ground too, because you're moving, obviously, or the game's moving.
It's fast.
Yeah. Also,
go ahead.
Want to touch on really quickly? Red Dead Redemption 2 beat it again. Oh, the second time. I saw you
playing it. Did you beat it the last time we talked? Didn't you say you beat it?
I don't think so. Okay. I was close to the end, but I hadn't beaten it yet. That game's so good. I just there's so many things I love.
What a great game that is.
The ending is perfect. Arthur's story is incredible. His arc is awesome, especially if you do the good honor side of it, because you can do the bad honor. It's not nearly as good.
Bad honor, like when I start killing a bunch of people?
Yeah, like there's things that like innocent people or whatever, civilians.
Yeah. I kill a lot of them.
If your honor's bad, like the dialogue changes.
No, it's
around
really,
camp.
No, it's really funny. I think I mentioned it to you or on the podcast. I can't remember, but I'll say it again. But I jumped in on Red Dead Redemption because I got a new TV and I just want to try out my old Xbox on the new TV.
Yeah.
Played Red Dead Redemption.
1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
And I was like, everything was red. And my bounty was like, I don't know, like $12,000, something like unattainable that I don't think I even got that much. And I was like, what the heck was going on? And Odin said he had played, and he was like, I can't play that game because everybody shoots at me. I was like, Odin, did you get the police after you constantly?
Bounty.
So he's got bounties everywhere. He's ruined my game.
You'll never play that game again. Yeah.
12,000.
That's insane.
I was like, okay, let's just try to pay off our bounty. I've tried to pay off bounties in different areas of the game because it's in different areas.
Yeah.
And I can't even get to the bounties office to pay for it. People keep shooting at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically wanted dead or alive at this point.
Yeah.
That's funny. 12,000 is absurd in that.
Yeah, it's like in past 10,000.
Like if if you loot something off of somebody's body, you're getting
It's
like
like
57 cents, and it's
$5
like, okay.
is a jackpot.
Yeah, if you get $5, man, you're living good.
I've
in that
definitely
video game.
gone like a high number before where it took me a long time to pay it
Oh
off.
yeah,
But
same.
I think Odin played it for like a week long
That's so
while
funny.
at work, and then
He was just killing things. He was
it
like,
was
whatever.
just shooting, then reviving, then shooting and reviving, and
That's funny. I like that. But yeah, so I finished that. Beautiful game. Love it. And then I started Red Dead Redemption, the first one. Obviously,
Really?
2's a prequel.
Yeah.
Leading to 1. That game still looks pretty good.
It does.
Like it's
on Xbox.
actually, yeah, and I think it got ported with the FPS boost and whatnot, but they haven't changed anything, and there's still a lot of stuff that looks pretty good in that game. Like a lot of the facial stuff still looks really good, and like up to date for its time. That game came out a long time ago.
Do you remember the episode we did about 4 months back where we kind of made fun of the PlayStation version and Nintendo Switch getting Red Dead Redemption 2 finally?
Yeah.
Or Red Dead Redemption 1 finally?
Dude, the Switches blow up.
And it wasn't running. It was just a direct port, and it wasn't running at 60. They did update to 60 frames on PS5.
Oh, really?
And 4, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, shortly after, we never, recanted.
It was us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. We forced their hand.
We definitely do
and then also, finally, Split Second. God, that game's awesome.
Split Second, the racing game?
The racing game on 360?
Yeah.
That game is sick. One of the greatest racing games of all time.
I would say the 2 most underrated racing games, Split Second and Blur. You remember Blur?
I know Blur. I've never played it.
Blur is it's not like Split Second, but it's like Mario Kart. But
yeah,
a racing modern racing game, but with Mario Kart stuff in it.
Okay,
really cool.
Split Second is the perfect, like Split Second's like the perfect brother companion to like Burnout Revenge.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
True.
Split Second's
it
awesome.
Feels like you feel like a stuntman in a movie set.
Yes, that's what they're selling you. They're like, hey, you're making a movie and you're racing. It's Fast and Furious, but a video game. Yeah. It's awesome.
And the way that you trigger the events on the track is really cool.
Yeah, especially if you get like the big ones. And
you can hold off
like
a big one,
tower and whatnot,
and then it'll change the course.
Yeah, the whole track changes. It's awesome. One of the coolest racing games.
So you have
made by Disney.
Really?
Yeah, don't know if it's published by Disney.
Yeah.
Which is did not realize they had that in them.
I think I remember seeing some of the developers go to Playground after they got shut down.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's a perfect transition for that.
I think Playground and Microsoft were like to all these Need for Speed and like remember Need for Speed Shift, which turned into Project Cars.
Yeah,
all these guys lost their jobs eventually.
Yeah. Burnout people too.
And Burnout.
Yeah,
and Microsoft and Playground were like, come over here.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna make a team.
We're gonna make a team, not only just racing games, but Fable as well.
Yeah, it's the Avengers version of racing games, and now Fable.
Yeah.
Split Second. Go play Split Second.
Yeah, good job.
Awesome.
Good job, Playground. I'm really excited for Fable if I can just see a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more, but for the most part, it looks pretty cool.
Yep.
Hopefully they nail the comedy, because that's like the big thing.
And let's apologize.
We're sorry.
For Nintendo fans.
To Nintendo fans. You know what? If you like it, more power to you.
I also want to say one more thing. James won an award. A very, very big award.
I did.
Which was Broadcaster of the Year. A young Broadcaster of the Year?
Yeah, Young Radio Personality of the Year, I think is what it says.
Good job, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. And then one of these days, next year, same time next year, at 101 episodes, we will be celebrating podcast of the year.
The WAB.
The WAB, Wyoming Association Broadcasters. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Technically, we all won an award too, right? For filming football?
Yeah, true. We did. We did something pretty cool. Filmed some football. Yep. I think we got second. Did we?
We got second place?
I think we got second place.
I don't know. I thought we got first.
We still get a plaque though, so hang it on the wall.
Not second. We don't hang
second
silvers.
place flags. All right, fine. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up the show. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Shout out our Nintendo fans. We love you guys, even if it's not for us.
Nah,
we
like
love
Nintendo.
you guys. I mean, we love Nintendo too.
I love Nintendo.
We just don't play it as much, you know. Yeah. Nintendo fans, we love you. We'll be back next week, and we will be talking about how vital is gravy to mashed potatoes.
I'm actually not going to be here next week. I'm going to be on vacation during a tropical storm.
We'll be back in 2 weeks talking about how vital is gravy to mashed potatoes.
Oh, dude.
We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
All right.
See you guys later.
Peace. Hey, Valorant.
Grant's the hardcore gamer, from NES to PS5, knows every secret in gaming's long archive. James, a casual player, sports games in his hand. Mixes up the devs, but he's the ladies' man. From the latest news to the games this week, the banter's strong, their chemistry unique. Discussing what they're playing from Halo to more. In every episode, there's always a score. Active or low, where gamers unite. News, reviews, and playful fights. Brand and James in the spotlight's glow. Nerdy stars of the show. They argue about the classics, young versus old. James with his Xbox, Grant with stories retold. Notable releases every week they share. From RPGs to sports with passion and flair. From the latest news to the games this week, the banter's strong, their chemistry unique. Discussing what they're playing from Halo to more. In every episode, there's always a score. Active or low, where gamers unite. News, reviews, and playful fights. Brand and James in the spotlight's glow. Nerdy stars of the show. They argue about the classics, young versus old. James with his Xbox, Grant with stories retold. Notable releases every week they share. From RPGs to sports with passion and flair. From the latest news to the games this week, the banter's strong, their chemistry unique. Discussing what they're playing from Halo to more. In every episode, there's always a score. Active or low, where gamers unite. News, reviews, and playful fights. Brand and James in the spotlight's glow. Nerdy stars of the show. Generations clash, but their love's the same. Through every episode, they elevate the game. From retro classics to modern quests, in the world of gaming, they're the best. Active or low, where cameras unite. News, reviews, and playful fights. Brand and James in the spotlight's glow. Nerdy stars of the show. Tune in weekly, join the spree. With Brand and James is the place to be. Active or low, where gaming's key. In every episode, hear the joy they bring. Tune in weekly, join the spree. With Grant and James is the place to be. Active or low, where gaming's king. In every episode, hear the joy they bring.